Hi guys, my name is Pragpal and welcome back in the new video. In this video, I'm going to explain you concrete mix design, which is a very important concept for the concrete, right? Without concrete mix design, you cannot proceed for the construction or even a design on your papers, because concrete mix design provides you a proportion of the materials like cement, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. With the help of that, you can proceed for the designing of the structures, because if you are designing the structure based upon the load, but for that what kind of the grade of the concrete you are using, okay, for the design, that is very specifically a standardized input required before proceeding for the design. Okay, that's reason as a civil engineer, okay, as a project manager, as a project management concerns, always a design should be a quality driven design. It's not a quantity driven design. Okay, so always you need to look towards the concrete mix design, okay, which is having the different kind of the stages of the designing, and in definitely in few videos I will be explaining you how you can do the concrete mix design on your fingertips. So let's get started in this video. Hi, my name is Parag and I'm going to explain you the concrete mix design concept thoroughly. So let's get started. So concrete mix design, as I said, that concrete, okay, if I just write here, okay, so concrete mix design, okay, defined in the proportion of cement, okay, fine aggregate, fine aggregates, okay, and coarse aggregate. Okay, so this is the proportion that we always get, like 1:5:10, 1:4:8, 1:3:6, 1:1:2. This is the values which refining how much proportion of the cement, fine aggregate and the coarse aggregate we required for the designing of the concrete. Okay, now so let me explain you few of the materials, okay, like few of the mixed proportions, why what is their proportion in usual time period. Okay, you can consider this as a standardized one, and later on I'll just take you the exposure condition, and I'll explain you why it is too important, which Indian standard you can use for the concrete mix designing. So basically for the concrete mix design, if I just take you to some examples such as M5 grade of concrete, okay, so M5 grade of concrete you required 1 proportion of cement, okay, 5 proportion of the fine aggregate and 10 proportion of the coarse aggregate, right? For M7.5 you will be requiring 1:4:8, okay, which means 1 part of the cement, 4 part of the fine aggregate and 8 part of the coarse aggregate. So whenever there is a design, so site engineer usually convert this in the proportionate unit like kgs and something like that, okay, and based on that they give their input while the construction. This is really important when we do the construction at the site, right? Then M10, so mix design, M stand for the mix of the 10, okay, so 1:3:6, right? Then M20, so M20 means 1:1.5:3, and M25, okay, that you will get as a 1:1:2. So these are, we can say, a standardized mix design available for the designing of the mix design of the concrete. Basically you can also get the more later, okay, like for M30, M35 kind of things, but for them the conditions might get different, okay, because of the heat of the hydrations and all. So for them we do really require the mixed design calculations, okay, and for them you will get some different criteria. Now guys, let me just take you to some more exposure conditions of this concrete mix designing. At which concrete mix designing, how much nominal cover you should use, how much maximum free water cement ratio you should add into the mix designing, and what is the minimum cement content you have to use kg per meter cube. That is one of the very important concept, right? So in the design of the mix design, okay, there is a several exposure conditions we were having. Okay, so sorry, my bad. Okay, so we were having several exposure conditions. Okay, exposure conditions. So exposure conditions such as mild. Okay, first condition is mild. So in mild condition, okay, even I can just define it in a very different way, or I'll just write it in very different way, such as exposure conditions. Exposure conditions. Okay, I don't know what is happening here. Exposure conditions. Okay, we have minimum grade of concrete here. Okay, so here I am proposing you which mix design you can use. Okay, sorry, I don't know what is happening today. Concrete, right? Then we will having minimum cement content. Okay, I'll just write here minimum cement content, right? Then we have to maximum free cement content, free cement water cement ratio, WC refined, and that is a nominal cover. Okay, so nominal cover which is used in the EMM, and the minimum cement content we always use in kg per meter cube. Okay, sorry for my handwriting. Okay, let's. So we have the various different conditions, right? So the first condition is mild. So let's take an example of the mild condition. So in the mild condition, okay, we should use the mix design minimum grade of concrete as a M20. Okay, the minimum cement content that we should carry is 300 kg per meter cube. Okay, these are the standard value I am just explaining you. So whenever you are doing construction, performing construction in the mild condition, so your main area focus should be, baseline should be M20 grade of concrete. 300 kg per meter cube is your minimum cement content should be there. You need to add 0.55 proportion of the water cement ratio. Okay, water divided by cement ratio, which is 0.5, and for the all the RCC construction one, you should provide a 20 mm as a clear cover. So clear cover means this is your beam construction, this is your RCC, this is your steel, and there we go, you provide this as a clear cover. Okay, the distance between the steel bar and the edge of the concrete, right? So this is what we have. So basically you have to provide a 20 mm as a nominal cover in the mild exposure condition. If I just talk about the moderate condition, okay, so in the moderate condition you have to use minimum grade of concrete as a M25. Okay, your minimum cement content ratio should be 300 kg per meter cube. Okay, your minimum water cement ratio should be 0.50, and you have to provide 30 mm as a nominal cover. Okay, if I talk about the severe condition, okay, let me just talk about this. Okay, severe exposure conditions. So you need to use M30 grade of concrete, which is having 320 as a kg per meter cube as a water minimum cement content. Okay, and your water content should be 0.45. okay, water cement ratio, which is having 45 mm as a nominal cover you have to provide, right? Now in very severe condition, okay, very severe condition, you have to use M35 grade of concrete. Okay, whereas your 340 is your minimum cement content in kg per meter cube, and you have to provide 0.45 as a water cement content with a 50 mm center to center, like 50 mm as a minimum clear cover. Okay, and in the extreme condition, okay, in the extreme condition you should use M40 grade of concrete, okay, where you have to use minimum cement concrete as a 360 with a 0.40 water cement ratio and 75 mm as a nominal cover. So this is what we have, right? This is one of the very important parameter for the mixed designing. Now after discussing all these things, there is something very important thing I can discuss with you, which are the maximum water cement from we have, if you wanted to refer the what is the maximum water content. Okay, so most of the time you have to use the maximum. Okay, I don't know what is happening today, sorry for this problem. Okay, right, so okay, so maximum water content. Okay, so maximum water content which is required, okay, you can refer it from the table number 2, okay, of IS code 10262. This is for the mixed designing of the concrete, which I explained in the last lecture number 1. Okay, and this data, database of the 10662, it will gives you the minimum water content, okay, sorry, the maximum water content, okay, corresponding to nominal size of the aggregate and the slump value. Okay, so this is give the corresponding value. Okay, so corresponding value they will provide you. Okay, corresponding value against what? Nominal size, how much nominal size of the aggregate you required. Okay, nominal size of aggregate, okay, sorry, aggregate and slump value, so, and slump value. Slump value, okay, slump value which is of 25 to 50 mm. Okay, this is what they will provide you. So this is one of the very important concept, right? Very extreme important concept, I would say. Now there is also very important thing that we have to discuss, like there are some nominal size of the coarse aggregate, and for them also we can prescribe that how much should be the maximum water content. So if my nominal size of the aggregate, okay, there is some problem today. Okay, if the nominal size, okay, of aggregate, okay, is 10 mm, 20 mm or 40 mm, then you have to use the maximum, your maximum ceiling limit, okay, the max, I would say the maximum water content, okay, water content in kg per meter cube should be, for M10 is a 208 kg per meter cube. Okay, for 20 mm coarse aggregate it should be 186 kg per meter cube, and for 40 mm it should be 165 kg per meter cube. This is what very important thing, right? Now we have a very different grade of concretes, okay, and very different situations of the grade of concretes that I'm going to explain you in the upcoming videos, and I'm going to explain you very different things. But okay, in this video I'm just going to add I will just add you one more important thing about the mixed designing, okay, which is quite very important for all of you. So now you have seen here, like I am discussing about the M5, M3 and all. So if I am talking about M20 grade of concrete, so here you can see I have some two wordings, like I have M and I am having 20 as a number. So M always stand for the mix, okay, and this number 20 is stand as a characteristic strength. okay, of the concrete. So it is characteristics. There is some problem today. Let me just change my pen. I think it can help me. Okay, leave it. Characteristic strength. Okay. Right, and which is always mentioned in Newton per mm square. Okay, so there's some problem. Okay, I'm very sorry for that, guys. Okay, so characteristic strength always in Newton per mm square. Okay, I can just write here or I can just mention it as a characteristic strength in Newton per mm square. Okay, that's very simple thing. Okay, now so IS 4000 to IS 4000 400 and 456. Okay, IS 456, which is 2000. This is not applicable, okay, not applicable for okay, for M60 above, okay, above M60 grade of concrete. Okay, and this is amended on 4th May 2013, right? And also IS code 456/2000 recommend the minimum grade as a, okay, minimum grade as a M20. This is a minimum grade. Okay, so you have to be very sure this M20 is stand for the minimum grade, and this is IS code 456 define that M60 it is like it is not applicable to grade above M60. Okay, and they mention M20 as a minimum grade of concrete, right? So minimum grade of RCC and PCC are definitely depend upon their exposure conditions. Okay, so this is one of the very important concept. Now let me just give you some tips on the standard concrete and high strength concrete. Okay, so standard concrete, okay, standard concrete, right? So if you just talk about the standard concrete, so standard concrete are ranging from, okay, M25 to M60 basically. Okay, so M25 to M60 you may find the standard concrete. Okay, and the high strength concrete, okay, the high strength concrete you may find from M65, okay, to M65 to M100. Okay, so this is a range for the strength of concrete, like high strength of the concrete and the standard concrete. So I hope you like this video, because this video gives you the detailed insight information upon the concrete mix designing. What is M stand for, what is the number stand for as a characteristic strength, okay, what are the standard numbers we have, what are the different conditions, okay, and which as the IS code gives you the good information about the maximum water content, and also the standard concrete which is M25 to M60, and high strength concrete as a M65 to M100. Okay, and IS code 456 always mention that it is not applicable above M60 grade of concrete, and they mention M20 as the nominal, okay, the minimum grade of the concrete. Okay, so this is for today video, guys. I hope you like this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.